Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So uh, we just wanted to start this kind of just a little structural organizational meeting. And I have right here what I would like for you to be involved in. Brother Tariq is media management, media research, whether this period is evolution or revolution, basically research, that's what it is. But with the frame of thinking of open doorism, not closed doorism, not research where you recognize who everybody is, so we don't want to have nothing to do with them. This is the other way. It's open doorism. We just want to research what we're dealing with, and then figure out, this cyberism. What's the best thing to do? Is it social media, Instagram, Facebook, website, new methods, best practices? So therefore, this is just like doing a general research paper. This is the way things are right now. This is the way people are doing things. This seems to be the way where people are reaching the most people. Like, I don't pay attention to it, but there's somebody, they get on that Instagram and then they're making $50 million and got a zillion people paying attention to what they're doing. How do they? And so that's yours right there. And Brother Ayub, I would like for you to write an introduction letter. Like, I am, Brother Ayub, I represent Masjid al-Islam. We don't want to Imam Musa too much, just Masjid al-Islam. And just doing it like we know our brothers who have been come here who are in the 40-ish, 50s, and I think it would be better for you to talk to them, for you to approach them than me, So do you feel it's the same way? Like if I were to talk to them, they might, it's just something that we're trying to look at. No, but how oh yeah. Well, just for instance, right now, perceiving a situation. The brother from Iran, I told him, it's almost 30 years ago, 92-ish, 93-ish. And he stayed with me for a few days. We went up to Boston. I think I told you about it. He got a chance to interview Noam Chomsky and all the books I was selling. When me and him went, I took only Islamic movement books and Shia books, which were very popular at that time. Philosophy of Islam, Ayatollah Beheshti, all of that. He took pictures of them, and then we talked a lot. And I'd be working out, lifting the line, and he'd be taking pictures, and I'd be talking to him. And I remember very clearly, I said, no, America won't be destroyed from the outside, it'll be destroyed from the inside. Basically self-destruction. And I was elaborating, it's too big of a power to be attacked from the outside. So everything would happen to it based on social, psychological, environmental degeneration. It'll be a type of environmental suicide. In other words, or historical suicide. And when he came back here this time before last, when he was showing that movie, remember he made a movie about Isa alayhi salam? Did you come and see that? But there was tons of people came to see his, in fact, I got some of the flyers. It was good, it was good. When the person that played Esau, we took pictures together, and I put one of his pictures on one of the flyers back there in the little office, you know. But anyway, first thing he told me, that was, man, time ago, 15 years ago, he said, man, everything you said was true. But now it's like triple true, you know. So now in talking about, talking to our brothers, I'll talk about how we see things now, but this is a very critical time. And here's the reality. No matter how much harmony we have personally, no matter how much satisfaction that we have personally and community, we're just cruising along, but this is not the time for that. Okay, now all the things that part of what the system did worked. They think it all worked, but it's only part of it that's worked. Because, see, as long as we keep going, it don't make no difference whether we lose 80% of our people, 90%, or 95%. As long as we have our focus and our ideas, all of those are still the same or improving. If we're improving, the world can go somewhere, you know, and jump off of a bridge, you know, because we're improving. But at the time we're living in right now, that which they control, they're systematically doing things. Okay, they're not doing them they're doing them at us, it's having a little effect, yeah, but it's not important. But for the people have to get together in a hurry. Like if you would listen to WPFW or whatever you listen to, you haven't heard of any emergency meetings based on what happened yesterday. What the heck does it mean? You can hear the people giving their little analysis, but they're not even close. They're only within the 25% highest of the 30% analysis of what's been going on. They get some of it, but they don't get, you know what I mean? Now, since they don't get it, since the society don't get it, but the buffoonery that has been done has all opened up doors also. It opens up doors that if there's a group of people, a small organized group of people, if they're well managed and have some resources, they can do almost anything they want. That's basically the way the world is. Remember the 5%ers? The 5%ers come from an old teaching in the Nation of Islam, the 67X. Yeah, well, they might have, I think it was Clarence 67X. So that, hey, that's like, maybe that's me. Maybe I'm 68X. Clarence 75X. That's better. But it's broken up like 85% of the people, you know, basically like donkeys being led. Then 10% of the people is controlling them. But there's 5% over that 10%. I'm not saying they all that, this not, at that time it was close. Now The ones up there is like 1 or 2%. Now suppose we can get ourselves together. Okay, we can analyze, we know all of that stuff. But when they have all the resources and they're using their resources and they're using their planning, right? And we can see what they're doing, but we don't have, we're right now beyond psychological guerrilla warfare. We fought that and we whooped them bad. But that didn't stop them, they just upgraded it. You know what I mean? And so they didn't came in with what they have. So the people that are at our disposal right now that could go into this without a large amount of convincing. Like, for instance, if we just had some open classes and some people watched on that and they wanted to, hey, that makes sense. It'll still take a long time to focus them and program them. There's some people who are around us, that's what they do. That's what their job was. Whoever they was, whatever they was, they were available for many years. Marches, demonstrations, all of that. Big time participation. Okay, so whatever we talk about, we don't have to convince them of what we've survived. We don't even have to convince them of what our qualifications are. Because of all of them working together on boss man's team, haven't been able to finish us off, then they're on the wrong team. We just have to let them know, you're on the wrong team. And are you going to see, before is one thing. You're going to put all of that, your children's future in their hands? Example. You can see the A team, B team thing. The A team is what's his name? The old president now. Well, they're part of the A team. Or they're just rubbing it in. For instance, the people we saw yesterday were the ones they're part of the beer hall puts. That's what that is. The beer hall puts was the ones that got hold to what Hitler and them was talking about. And they had a I guess it was a little before time, they had a coup. And it didn't work. That's when Hitler went to jail. He wasn't there but a year, so he's in jail 24. He wrote Mein Kampf while he's in the penitentiary. Okay, but he made a lot of friends. Now, you got to remember, Donald Trump and them are not as smart as Hitler. Hitler was able to get his thing off the ground. Okay, Donald Trump is a pretended Hitler. He's a pretended Hitler. The people that are attracted to him are poor white people, right? A lot of them are paid now. That thing was organized yesterday. Because we saw all the buses. It was like when we watched the girls' march, the ladies' march and all that. You can look and say, look at all these people. These are all unions doing this, all the unions. Remember, we saw a guy come by with an old-time Russian hat with a red star on it. If that ain't faking, so I said, hey, now I know all the Reds, so they're friends of some of us in jail together. Hey, what about so-and-so? They said, oh, okay, fine, that's fine with me. Nobody would go out, no communist would go out with a doggone Russian hat with a red star, even in the 50s, right? I mean, he just wouldn't do it. And here they come in the Women's March, and they all stop listening. They're listening to us. Well, we know that's messed up, And all the people that I know got front seats down there. Some ladies, they don't do no demonstration or nothing, but they got a front seat down there. So there's so many things and then the speakers, I ain't gonna talk about all the speakers, but the point is this, because we have to kind of stop talking about people, because we don't need them to exist, but if we're gonna get anything done, you see what I mean? That's the same thing what I was relating to you. Is that we could sit here and be right on time all the time, every time. It's past that. We have to mobilize ourselves and use the resources that come our way, to get this thing rolling. And